The other day, I posted the results of my political compass test to prove, at long last, that yes, I really am a liberal. I am not a secret Republican. I am not a lifelong conservative. I really am a liberal. And if you want to go see the results and listen to my rationale about why I answered the questions the way I did, the video is available on this channel. However, several of you commented, you were like, Carlin, the political compass test is BS and it's skewed and we don't like it. And I'm like, well, fine, whatever. And one of you actually recommended that I take this moral foundations test. So I've never taken this test before. I have no idea the questions it asks. We're going to discover this together because, why not? And listen, if you're interested in taking the test yourself, I will link it up in the description so that you can go and figure out what your results will be as well. And share them in the comments if you end up taking them as well, because by the time the video goes up, I'll know what mine are, and so maybe we can have a conversation about it. But before I jump in and take the test, I just want to say, hey man, if you like the content that I'm putting out on this channel, this is a little fun new activity for me. My channel isn't actually that old. I only really started it in January. It has grown quickly by complete and total accident, but I'm really enjoying myself and I hope you're enjoying the content that I put out. If you like the content that I'm making, go ahead, click subscribe, hit those notifications, or, give me a thumbs up, whatever works best for you. I hope you enjoy it. And if you have suggestions for things you'd like me to do, I don't read all the comments all the time, but I do try to read them as best I can. So leave a comment and let me know what types of stuff you'd like to see. All right, let's take the moral foundations test. Social scientists such as Ravi Iyer and Jonathan Haidt argue there are substantial variations in human morality and that those differences influence not just a person's decision-making and reasoning process, but also their political outlook. In recent years, researchers and scholars from all over the world have converged on the framework on moral foundations theory in an attempt to explain these differences, as well as to make sense of many instances of moral outrage and offense that are increasingly seen in the public debate. Ooh, I like this test already. By drawing on the findings from their research, the test aims to give you your scores according to the moral foundations frameworks. For each of the following items, indicate whether or not you think it's morally okay. All right, question number 1. A man orders a custom-built sex doll designed to look just like his niece. Okay, so the first question I have on this one is, how old is the niece? Because there's definitely, I think, a difference between a child and a teenager and a full-grown, mature adult. Now, I'm not saying that makes it right if it's the adult instead of someone that's underage. I'm just saying, the very first image I have of the niece is, someone in, pigtails, and that's not cool, man. That is 100% not okay. But if it's, oh god, this test is gonna get me into trouble, I can already tell. If it's like a fully mature adult, someone who is well above the age of consent, and they built a sex doll, I mean, I think it's weird, but I think it's better than actually acting on those desires. I mean, I don't think I guess, do I morally think that there's anything wrong with that if you aren't acting on it? Probably a little bit less. So maybe I'm just going to go one click over from wholly not agree to just, mostly not agree, but I could see an instance where maybe I could rationalize it. Adam and Beth have been dating for 3 years. Adam is reluctant to have children, so Beth tells him she's on the pill when she isn't. No, dude, that's not okay. Come on, you've been dating for 3 years. That is a long, long time. The only relationship I've had for 3 years is my husband. And I would, no, that's wrong, man. Not cool. Jane's boss calls all of his employees by their first name, but does not allow any of them to call him by his first name. When Jane insists that it must be a two-way street, he fires her. No, okay, first off, this is something that's actually in my wheelhouse. That is a stupid reason to fire someone. That's stupid. In fact, that might be borderline something you could get sued over. So, I mean, it's not even about the name thing. That's just a really stupid reason to fire someone, especially if Jane is a productive employee that's contributing. This isn't even a moral question. This is a business question. If Jane is going above and beyond her responsibilities and is doing her job and meeting her goals, and you fire her over something stupid, you're just a horrible boss if you do that. No. Tina promises her dying mother that she'll visit her grave once a month. After her mother has passed, Tina finds it hard to squeeze in the time, and her visits drop to about once a year. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's okay. Maybe not like all the way over. Maybe I'll leave a little bit just because she said she would do it. But the thing of it is like I think that in my belief system, once people die, like we never really die, we never end. They're still there in spirit. And I think that Jane's mom, in spirit form, with much more additional context about the universe and how all this works, because we get access to that information when we die, I think that she'd be like, okay, honey, go live your life, go have fun. Don't worry about me. I'm cool. I don't think she'd care. Emma and Cindy are summer interns at Chris's office. Emma does slightly better than Cindy. At the end of the summer, there's only one job opening, but Chris gives it to Cindy because Chris finds her more attractive. No, that's not okay, Chris. That's creepy and wrong. And I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, if the only reason is because Chris finds her more attractive, then that's going to be like a hard wrong. I could maybe see like if Chris just liked Cindy better, like interns are interns. Interns are not highly skilled people. So I suspect that there wouldn't be that much of a difference between Emma and Cindy's performance. But I still think it's creepy if the only reason is that he finds her more attractive. In sex education class, the students are taught that since the sexes are equal, the girls should sleep with as many guys as they want without fear of being considered sluts. Yeah, fine. When Carl's soccer team is squaring off against the team of another nation, he sings along with the other team's national anthem instead of his own. Well, I don't think it's cool to sing along with the other teams instead of your own. If you want to sing along with the other team in addition to your own, then that's fine. But I don't think it's cool instead of your own. So I'm just going to go one click back. Sarah gets drunk in a bar and makes out with two strangers at once. Sarah, you go. You go, girl. You get it. Scott is hosting a dinner party. For dessert, he serves chocolate cake shaped to look like dog poo. What the heck? That's gross. Cake should be enjoyable. I'm going to go one click back because it could be funny. I can understand how it would be funny and then you cut it up and you eat it and it doesn't look like the original thing anymore. Like, whatever, but that's gross, man. That's just unnecessary. A Christian bakery refuses to custom decorate a cake with chocolate letters that would carry a pro-gay message. I'm going to go not okay, but listen, like I also believe fundamentally that people should be able to practice their religious views, and I don't like it. Like, that's not a bakery I would patronize, but I also really don't understand people making such a big deal about needing to have their cake from that specific bakery. There are lots of bakeries, man. Just go to a different one, or like order it on the, there's so many places now you can order really nice cakes, like on the internet. Probably not what you want to do for like a wedding or something like that, but just go to another baker that would be more than happy to charge you excessively for a cake. And also, just for the record, like, I didn't even have a cake at my own wedding. We had little truffles that we each got a flavor. Mine was like white chocolate and raspberry, and Victor's was chocolate and had like some caramelly thing in it. So I don't even like believe in cake for like wedding stuff, but like whatever. When Lily tells her classmate Sue that it's her dream to be prom queen, Sue laughs out loud and says, "You're too ugly for that." Okay, so Sue in this case is projecting her own insecurities onto Lily. Now, in high school, that's probably gonna, prevent her from being prom queen in a lot of different cases, simply because that's the way kids are, but there's no need to say that, man. That's just gratuitous. And ultimately, anytime we find fault in others and really point it out like that, it's simply a projection of our own issues onto them. Like, who says Lily can't be prom queen? Maybe Lily is like the most popular girl in the class, and most people may not even care what she looks like. So no, I think that's bad. I'm giving 2 clickbacks for that one. Bob and Pam are siblings. Bob is given $10 by their father and is told to distribute it between them as he likes. Bob gives $1 to Pam and pockets $9 himself. I mean, like, it's not what I would have chosen to do, but, I mean, I guess maybe like 1 click back for that. That's like a minor offense. Sarah's dog has 4 puppies. She can only find a home for 2 of them, so she kills the other 2 with a stone to that. What the hell is wrong with this woman? No. Some men have private all-male club and some men have a private all-male club and feminists take them to court demanding they open it up to women. Feminists should form their own club where they only, like, why would feminists, okay, and I'm saying today's feminists, today's, like, the uber crazy ones, like, why do you want to hang out with all men? Like, go form your own club, man. Or maybe even better yet, go form your own club that is open to men, and then men can be welcome to hang out with you. Men don't want to hang out with feminists, man. I'm sorry, men, especially modern feminists, like, you drive them insane. Like, no, that's not okay. 2 clicks back. No, I'm not gonna go all the way, but like 2 clicks. Amy and Mia are coworkers. One day, Amy offers Mia to take one of her shifts, no strings attached. Sometime later, Amy could really use someone to fill in for her, but Mia doesn't feel compelled because Amy's original offer has no strings attached. Like, I mean, I don't know if I would say it's wrong because she's right that it was no strings attached, but it's just like not a very nice thing to do. If someone does you a favor, you do it back. So maybe if you can, I mean, listen, the only way I could rationalize it is like if Mia felt like, if Mia had something legitimate like going on that she just couldn't get out of and she'd already made a commitment for that time, fine. I get that, but that's not listed here, so we're just gonna assume Mia wants to sit around and watch Netflix and doesn't feel like it, and that's not cool. When Kelly asks Steven out on a date, he sneers and says, like I'm gonna date a woman who looks like an overweight bulldog. Steven probably is like, you know, Steven can go F himself. Whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna go all the way back though, because like my biggest complaint in this is not that he doesn't want to date her. Like, date whoever you want. Like, you can't always control who you're attracted to, but there's absolutely no reason to respond with an insult. Just say, oh no, thank you, or, you know, make some other excuse. You don't have to make someone feel bad just because you don't want to go on a date with them. Dad turns up the TV just like his father is talking. Dad turns up the TV just as his father is talking about his military service. Okay. This is going to be one of those times when I really hope my husband is not listening to me make this video, or my husband does not watch this video. Sometimes when my husband is talking to me and I'm just tired and I just want to sit down and watch TV, I absolutely do this. Because my husband, like, he gets in this habit at night when we're like sitting on the couch like chatting about like random things, and I love him and I do, and sometimes I find those things very interesting, but there are absolutely times when I'm like, Victor, just be quiet, I just need a minute, I just need to watch brainless TV. So I'm gonna stay, like, I'm gonna give it 1 click over, simply because I do it as well and I can understand it. And Dad can talk about military service another time. When a homeless man asks Matt for spare change, Matt keeps on walking and says, "Don't talk to me, loser." Again, like, this is an instance of, like, you don't want to give the guy change, fine, but don't be a dick about it. The principal of a school says that none of her students are allowed to draw Muhammad on premises or bring Muhammad cartoons to school. Wrong. No, that's absurd. Well, on a live on-air TV show, a man kills a baby rabbit with a knife. No! Gee, some of these questions, man, like, I can't even imagine what the results of this thing are going to be. In biology class, a human hand preserved in a jar is passed around among students. Okay, maybe like a little weird. I think it's fine. John's soccer coach. Oh, I mean, by the way, like, so one of my favorite exhibits ever is like the bodies exhibit. And so that's part of why I answered that last question is like, okay, now here's what I've since learned since I really liked the bodies exhibit. I've actually been to the bodies exhibit twice in Vegas, but there's bodies and then there's another one at the Flamingo. Bodies is at the Pyramid one, the Luxor, and there's another one at the Flamingo. And I've been to both of those, and they're really cool. Like, they've got human bodies, and they got all the parts, and you can see what's going on, and they have them posed in all these different positions. But, like, I recently learned that those bodies are Chinese political prisoners, that many of whom, like, probably didn't deserve to be political prisoners, and, you know, you didn't give their consent to their bodies being used by that. So that's wrong. That is wrong. 2 thumbs down to those exhibits, but I liked the idea of it, which is, you know, and if people consented to their bodies being used in that way, I'd be much more okay with it. All right. John's soccer coach decides that everyone on the team must wear black soccer shoes, but on the day of the match, John turns up in white soccer shoes. Like, that's Like, whatever. Like, who cares? The head of a public department says that none of her employees are allowed to smoke at all, even in their free time. She's not allowed to do that. That's just like, she has no... Bosses don't really usually have any say over what you do in your free time. They often think they do, but they don't. Brian does not cooperate with law enforcement. Whenever he is pulled over, he refuses to answer questions and starts bickering with the officer about his rights. I think that's just stupid. Maybe not, like, immoral, but just stupid and unnecessary. And how many times is Brian getting pulled over if that's happening all the time? Why is Brian getting pulled over all the time? All these additional questions are coming up as I'm taking this quiz. Julie asks her friends not to fraternize with her ex-boyfriend Jake since he cheated on her with other women. 3 weeks later, Julie's friend Melissa is dating him. So I guess I'm judging Melissa's behavior here. Yeah, Melissa's not a real friend, and although, okay, she's not my friend anymore, so I can say this. Maybe I wasn't 3 weeks later, so there was a time where, I had one of my best friends, Megan, and, we were very good friends. We actually almost, like, lived together for a while, and then, okay, and I ended up dating Megan's ex-boyfriend. That's it. I'm guilty. I am. But it wasn't 3 weeks afterwards. They had been on and again, off again for a while, and they broke up, and she was in another relationship, and he and I lived near each other, and we went out drinking, and one thing led to another and all that, and I really liked him. Like, he's a good guy. We didn't really, like, end up ever, like, in an official relationship. We were hanging out a lot and, doing other things. So maybe, 3 weeks is a little bit soon, but I can rationalize that. Hannah inherited an old flag of her country from her father, but has never used it. One day, when Hannah is cleaning the house, she discovers that she is out of rags, so she uses the flag as a rag to clean the house. It's a cloth at the end of the day. I don't think it's cool, but I was gonna put, like, it's like a minor offense. I don't think it's okay, but, like, I'm not overtly offended by it. Jack and Will are classmates. Will's father is a lawyer. When he picks up Will from school, he refuses to say hi to Jack's father because he is only a janitor. That's like just... If you're refusing to say hi to someone because of their job, that's stupid. Especially, like, janitors work hard, man. Like, I don't care about the job you have. That's just dumb. A pair of parents read about the exotic delicacies of Africa and the Far East in the coming weeks. They serve dog meat to their children? No! Using both a condom and the pill, a brother and sister decide that they want to sleep with each other just once to see what it would be like. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, they're taking precautions against having kids, and that's fine. But I just don't... I'm not only going to go back 2 clicks because they're not having kids, but that's still gross. Tim asks his father for permission to stay out late because his classmates are throwing a party. When his father refuses, Tim slams the door in his face. I mean, Tim is obviously a teenager. Like, he's acting out like a teenager. Fine, whatever. It's not the best reaction, but, I can forgive teenagers making stupid decisions. A man sets up an unlicensed medical practice but makes all of his customers sign a contract acknowledging they know that he is not a licensed physician. I don't know. I think I'm going to go 1 click to okay because they know he's being upfront about it, and if they make the choice to get care from him knowing he's an unlicensed physician, it's their choice. Tom and Linda have been dating for almost a year. Since they've never agreed to be exclusive, Tom sleeps with other women without telling Linda. I mean, yeah, because they've never agreed to be exclusive. I'm not even going to go 2 clicks on that one. If they never had the conversation, like, you man up and you have the conversation if you want to be exclusive. In sex education class, the students are asked to inflate a condom with their mouths. I mean, I don't know what value that would have, and it seems a little weird, but whatever. A group of parents concerned about their children's risk of obesity demand that a local store stop selling XL-sized candy bars and soft drinks. No, I mean, come on, man. Talk to your kids. Be adults. An Army lieutenant neglects to file a report on a civilian killing done by his troops because he knows it was an accident. No, you still file the report. You do the right thing. You follow procedure. A new action figure becomes all the rage among the boys in Timmy's class. When Timmy's parents get to the store, they buy all of the action figures for Timmy, leaving none for the other children. There's more than one store. Like, they can get stuff on the internet. It's not like the store is the only place in the world to get an action figure. Just get on the internet, for Christ's sake. I mean, I think it's like a little dastardly, but like, whatever. I'm not overly concerned with it. Okay, let's see what my results. My moral foundation's results. How moral am I? Okay, let's see. My strongest moral foundation is care, 92%, and then fairness, 64%, purity, 50%, loyalty, 39%, authority, 31%, and liberty, 75%. Yay! So what does that mean? So my strongest is care. Care, this foundation pertains to our mammalian need to care for our young and to form bonds of attachment to others. It underlines the virtues of kindness and nurturance and is tied to emotions such as protectiveness and compassion. Left liberals typically score high on this dimension. More evidence that I'm actually a liberal. Conservatives, the second highest, and libertarians, the lowest. That's funny because in my political compass test, I actually came out more libertarian this past time taking it than I did the time before. All right, liberty is 75, so we're going to go down there next. This foundation is related to individuals' need to be their own master and to avoid the dominant social mores imposed by the group. It underlies the virtues of independence and autonomy. It is tied to emotions as self-sufficiently and defiance. Libertarians typically scored highest on this dimension. Conservative second highest, and left liberals the lowest. So again, that makes total sense with my political compass test. All right, fairness, 64. This foundation pertains to our ability to maintain cooperative and mutually beneficial relationships. It underlines the virtues of honesty, justice, and dependability. It is tied to emotions such as gratitude, anger, guilt. Left-leaning liberals typically score higher on this dimension than conservatives and libertarians. And then, what was my next one? Purity. This foundation pertains to our species' need to avoid disease and parasites. It underlines the phenomenon of cultural taboos and fuels the commitment to live in a manner that abstains from indulgence in sensory desires. It is tied to emotions such as sanctity, piety, and disgust. Conservatives typically score higher on this dimension than left liberals or libertarians. You can see I only scored 50% on that dimension, so we're getting to the lower ones now. Loyalty. Oh, it says my morality is closest to that of a left liberal, too. I didn't even notice that. See? I told you guys I'm a liberal. I swear to God. Loyalty, 39%. This foundation is derived from our species' long history of living as tribes and clans, enabling us to form cohesive communities. It underlines the virtues of patriotism, bravery, and self-sacrifice on behalf of the group. It is tied to emotions such as pride and a sense of belonging. Conservatives typically score higher on this. And then my last one is authority, which totally makes sense. That would be my least one because I have issues with authority. I really do. This foundation was shaped by humanity's long history of bonding together in hierarchical and social interactions. It underlies the virtues of respect for tradition and deference to legitimate authority. It is tied to emotions such as fear, respect, and awe. Conservatives typically score higher on this dimension than left liberals and libertarians. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. I told you, I really am a liberal. I just think that the Democrats have lost their minds, and so it looks like mine in this one are liberal, and then libertarian, and then conservative in that order.